Purge is the latest addition to the Purge franchise. This is the fourth film in the franchise, and this one's a prequel. This one takes you all the way back to the beginning of the Purge, where you find out how the Purge got started and what the first night of the Purge was like. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of the actors and actresses that are in this movie. I know Marissa Tomei is in this movie, but that's just because she's Aunt May, and Aunt May is hot now, so I have to pay attention to her. That beautiful chick from the Superfly remake is in here, and there's also a character that looks like Jaylen Brown from the Celtics just decided to put in some acting in his offseason. This takes place at the beginning of the first Purge. It's really done in kind of an experimental way. They try it out on Staten Island. They give people a chance to go out and purge, and they try to sit back and see what happens. I have somewhat of a mixed reaction to the rest of the Purge franchise. The first Purge movie I absolutely hated. I thought it was a piece of shit. The second Purge movie, I actually kind of enjoyed that one. Frank Grillo was in that one, and he was kind of a badass. And the third one, which I believe was called Election Year, was yet another forgettable piece of shit. So I did not go into this movie with high expectations. But I gotta say, I didn't walk out of the movie hating it. I mean, there is stuff to like about this movie, to my surprise. So let's take Jaylen Brown. Okay, his name's not Jaylen Brown, but he just, swear to God, he looks like Jaylen Brown. I think his actual name is Yelan Noel, I think. Possibly. Either way, he's the best character in the movie. He gives the best performance in the movie. He's the most badass character in the movie, and so he's the one person in the movie that you gravitate towards, even if everything surrounding him is shit. Final third act of this movie, where there's a lot of action and a lot of CGI blood, this dude was basically Batman with a mini-fro. So if you're looking forward to nothing else in the movie, look forward to that. And again, the chick, who I believe was also in the Superfly remake, she was pretty good, I guess, performance-wise. She wasn't awful, she wasn't great, she was just kind of good. Functional. She did her job. Kind of like the way this film's set up, though. The first act is a lot of build-up, and it's a lot of, hey, we have to set this up, we have to explain things. Granted, that did get kind of boring after a while. And I like how it's kind of a realistic thing, because then once the Purge starts, people don't know what to do on the night of the first Purge, so they're kind of like, wait, what do we do here? Are we just going to go out and start swinging machetes and grandma masks or something? Well, I don't think real people would actually have that kind of reaction if something like this was happening in real life. They kind of just go, oh, it's party time. All right, let's throw a party. Yeah, that's a great way to spend the Purge. Beyond the setup, a couple of okay performances and a couple of really good action parts, mostly involving Yelan Noel. There's not much else to say about this movie. Tonally speaking, this movie has absolutely no idea what it's trying to do. And I guess that's one of my biggest issues with the Purge franchise in general. From a tone standpoint, the movie is just all over the place. There are some times where the movie's trying to be a gritty, serious, bloody, like, slasher flick. Then there are other times where the movie feels so silly, so ridiculous, so over the top, that you can't take it as anything other than goofy. And as a result, I have no idea how to feel from scene to scene in this movie. The movie is one of those unintentional comedies where it's hilarious, except that it's not supposed to be hilarious because it's not a comedy. But there are just so many parts in this movie, so many dumb moments, dumb dialogue, dumb characters, where you just can't help but laugh at the shit, even if that's not what the filmmakers intended. In regards to the action sequences in the movie, some of them were well done, and some of them were shot like complete shit. Like, there was an over-reliance on shaky cam and quick cuts, and again, CGI blood, and some of that did take me out of the movie a little bit. If you've been following this franchise for years now, then you know there's going to be political tones in it. This movie, I feel like, even more than the other ones, they kind of beat you in the face, like beat you with a Mike Tyson boxing glove with the political messages in this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, that got kind of irritating after a while, because once again, just like the rest of the movie, they don't know how to execute it in a way where it feels like a balanced tone. Swear to God, there's even a grab her by the pussy joke in this movie, or at least I thought it was a joke because I laughed at it, but then again, when I go back and I think about the scene, it was actually kind of a serious, dangerous scene, so I don't think it was supposed to be funny. Surprisingly, though, I'm not going to shit all over this movie. I actually did have some fun with it. It has a likable protagonist, or at least a character with a mini-fro who kicks a lot of ass, and some of the performances are good. There's also some shitty performances and characters that make really stupid decisions, but you should know that by now. This is like literally the first movie that I see after Gotti, and Gotti was so low on the cinematic food chain that I wonder if this movie was shit, would I even notice it? Because maybe I'm just in such a good mood after Gotti that I'm just gonna praise this movie because. I don't know, that's a question for another day. Point is, the first Purge wasn't that bad, wasn't that good, it just was. The first Purge was an average film, which is higher than I actually expected for it. So I'm going to put it in the Fortress of Solitude. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on the first Purge. So tell me, if the Purge was a real thing, what would you do? How would you handle that night? Put it in the comment section below, let me know. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!